What careers or jobs most attract psychopaths?
Fucking car sales. Not sure if the job attracts them or makes normal people that way, but it's full of them.
I find those often in HR are not people that should be in our
little-known field that is rife with psychopathy, public accounting.
There's been a study on this. It included corporate executives but also surgeons and chefs, both of whose work tends not to require not much actual socialization, or at least only with subordinates, not customers who have to be greeted pleasantly.
Homeowners Association President
John Ronson wrote a fantastic book, The Psychopath Test. He interviewed people who created and used the test, as well as many psychopaths. Psychopaths in his book ranged from imprisoned murderers to very wealthy CEOs.
I think statistically it's surgeons and CEOs.
Sales. It's known that psychopaths excel in sales because they do whatever they can to get ahead. Learned about it in psych in my undergrad and it always stuck with me. Edit. I've worked sales jobs myself, so I'm not judging anyone at all, I am just relaying information I recalled from my undergrad.
I was a carny. I don't know which came first. The drugs or psychotic behavior. But I witnessed both in bulk.
Paparazzi.
Reddit mods.
Most clinical psychopaths, over 30 on the checklist, are actually so impulsive and out of control that they either don't have jobs because they're in prison right now, or they bounce from job to job either quitting or getting fired fast. A prominent trait of psychopathy is actually an inability to hold down jobs for long periods of time. People might say, surgeons, or CEOs, that's psychopathic traits, not full-blown psychopaths. Serial killers seem to like positions of authority but almost always have sexual assault, battery priors, so they often end up as rent-a-cops and security guards.
Top 10 jobs that attract psychopaths. 1. CEO. 2. Lawyer. 3. Media, TV, radio. 4. Salesperson. 5. Surgeon. 6. Journalist. 7. Police officer. 8. Clergy person. 9. Chef. 10. Civil servant. Pizzeria security.
Lawyers, CEOs, surgeons and civil servants from what I've read have some of the higher rates.
Banking. The higher you advance in the hierarchy, the less empathy you have. Exponentially.
Sex traffickers.
Construction. As a construction worker, I have met literally the worst human beings I've ever met while in the trades. One guy, because I quit working for a shitty company, legit said he should rape me. And #X200B. Like okay bud. Fucking weirdo.
One career that doesn't immediately come to mind but makes a ton of sense when you think about it is charity worker, especially if you get to management. What do psychopaths want? To get away with abusing power over others. What better way to do that than to surround yourself with powerless people who desperately need whatever the charity is providing, and typical charity workers that are extremely helpful, caring people who are most inclined to want to see the good in others. I have a friend with PTSD from being abused by his boss and being forced to witness his boss abuse the people who needed the charity while working at a non-profit, and his therapist told him his story is surprisingly common.
Crossing guards. Always telling you what to do and what not to do and when to do it. The fucking entitlement these people have.
Politics.
Unemployment department phone employee.
I don't know that it attracts psychopaths, but psychopaths make excellent first responders and they're far less likely to freak the fuck out in an emergency or get stuck helping the one who screams loudest. Psychopaths aren't necessarily maladjusted, in theory. We generally only hear about what info we get from studying in jails, so.
The police, military. Dictator, apparently.
Blood spatter analyst. Edit. Spelling.
Any job where they have a powerful position and a lot of variety, because psychopaths seek power over people and can be easily bored. For example, lawyers or politicians.
Positions in religious leadership. Was raised evangelical. The hypocrisy. Did you really just do that? Moments, and internecine spats were surreal.
I did research on the prevalence of psychopathy in corporate environments. The average rate of psychopathy in the general population is 1 in 100. The rate of psychopathy amongst high-tier corporate officers is 1 in 10.
No bankers. Man, these guys always slip under the radar. If you ever wonder why the US government and economy is a cruel, rigged clusterfuck, its bankers, they're major shareholders in every public company and major creditors to the rest. Every major political decision goes through them. They are the system. Probably slaughterhouse workers, the ones who don't find it traumatic.
Dentists.
IDK if this is true, but I believe the chances of running into a total psycho go up along with the chain of command. The higher up the chain you go, the more likely you'll find a psychopath. Because having no remorse is beneficial to the position.
Nurses. I don't know why, but nurses.
Nurses. I'm not sure if it's because people just want the pay or what, but nurses can be so evil. Like the ones beating on old people and shit.
Line cooks.
On a serious note, clinical psychopathy is actually very beneficial for high-stress, high-stakes jobs like surgeons, high-level politicians, combatants, basically anyone that has to make life or death decisions for strangers. Psychopaths have a bad reputation because stories of psychopathic murderers are way more sensational than stories of psychopathic surgeons, and convicted criminals get psychoanalyzed more frequently than non-criminals. I read a great book about the benefits of psychopathy, but I can't remember the title and I'm gonna go eat some pizza. I'll let you know when I find it because I want to read it again now, lol.
Apparently the motherfucking President of the United States.
According to the book The Psychopath Next Door. 1. CEO 2. Lawyer 3. Media TV, radio 4. Salesperson 5. Surgeon 6. Journalist 7. Police officer 8. Clergy person.
Government management. And I'm not talking about politicians. I'm talking about your department managers and execs. I've worked for some insane people.
Host of The Apprentice? Instagram influencers. Anyone gives people a sense of power, authority. Tanning salon owners.
Park construction. I heard they make a lot of psychopaths.
I'm going into the aerospace industry as an engineer soon, and I feel like a lot of those engineers who work for defense companies building weapons that kill people are just different. I've had a number of interviews with defense industry people, and every time the interviewer puts me off with the ways they describe their work building bombs and missiles and shit that definitely blow up human beings. Maybe it's the way they always frame it as supporting the warfighter, and how their products are innovative kill chain technologies and shit. I would bet money that the defense industry has a measurably higher rate of psychopaths.
Teachers. Police.
No one on here knows what a psychopath is.